Oh, that's
Let's
perfect.
go.
Want some water?
No, thank you. I'm
No?
good.
Thank you so much, yes.
Gwen
Melissa,
Holland's
do you
gonna be
want
helping
some?
us, she's with
Oh,
us
okay.
in the office, so we can talk more after.
Oh, yeah, this is interesting.
She's gonna give you. Eventually taking over,
Okay.
help with
Yeah.
different meetings,
Oh,
so.
nice, okay.
All right, so I've got everything set up here, we wanna open up the meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
are we live now?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, gavel us in. Welcome, everyone. To the October edition of the Preservation Commission for Fayetteville, Historic Preservation Commission for Fayetteville. And we have, hopefully we'll have a shorter meeting today. I appreciate everybody showing up. And Gwen, welcome.
Thank you.
And Mark, welcome. Lisa.
Hello.
So let's do the minutes because that's essential, because that was the first part of the application we're gonna be looking at tonight. So everybody should have received the minutes from September tenth, our last meeting. Are there any corrections that were made? And this is the one you first sent. Is that the
Yeah,
latest?
nobody has said anything to me, so I have not made any changes to that.
Probably because
It's
they were
helpful for
on.
you guys to make comments ahead of time, just so you know.
Yep, I understand that.
So if there's
if there-
something anybody saw that I haven't heard yet. Is it?
I don't think so. At least not from my purview, but I would like to get a motion to accept the minutes as drafted. Anyone?
And anybody can make a
Ron?
motion whether you're here or
Yeah,
not
and then
previously.
Jane will second. So
Okay.
any further
She's
discussion?
not a voting member.
That's
Can't control
true.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, Richard, thank you. That's right, because if you were here last, and anyway, yeah, this is good.
Do you value her commentary?
I do,
Her opinion.
and I honestly, if there's ever a shortage of members, you would be elevated to full membership, at which point you would be a voting member. So. Motion, a second, any further discussion? If not, all in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Motion passes. Again, another excellent set of minutes. Get us started. So that gets us to our first and only application for the night, 105 Brooklear Drive, also known as 100 Limestone Plaza. Alicia?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you these. I only have 4.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think there's one in the file.
This is
French
also
pastry.
the woods. Yeah, it's
How appropriate.
it is pretty yellow. I will say we tested them all in the sun. It's more of a cream in the sun. So, but yeah, we just changed some things. I got the granite sample that will be used for the counter that you can see from the outside.
Mhm.
We made things a little more symmetrical. We added the pictures of the buildings on each side, just so you can see it. In relation to them, we have some in detail drawings of the awning. And then I brought the samples that will be used on the.
Oh. Is this it? What-
That's a stain, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
What is this gonna be used for?
The wood on the outside of so everything is gonna be just that wood and ephes, and that is gonna be the stain on the wood, and then the paint is gonna be.
So if we're looking at your rendering, is it what's the clay color?
Yeah, the
door?
rendering, colors are not accurate to what we initially had chosen. That's just, yeah, it's just representing like a separation of the wood aspects and where the ephes is.
Okay, and I remember the application had a number of pages with selections. I dropped them in the wind today, so
Yeah,
this is the marble granite.
yeah, which I couldn't get a sample of, so the
But it-
picture, I tried the best I could do.
Okay, so it gives us an indication. And then the windows themselves currently are like stainless steel or aluminum. looking,
Yeah, they're just metal windows.
But the garage door is darker, like an anodized.
It'll be that wood stain. Everything will be the same stain of wood. And if that changes in construction, we'll come to the boards first, but that's the plan as of right now. We applied for the Main Street grant. So hopefully we get accepted to that and we won't be doing any construction until the spring anyway, so.
Okay, so there's time to work through some of the thing. And this color, is that gonna be the color of the EPIS?
Yes,
Okay, I just wanted to clarify. Okay, so really wood, EPIS, granite, and then the garage doors and windows are also gonna be the oak wood.
yes, yeah, those will all, we're not gonna do any wood replacements that are more weather resistant. We're gonna keep up with the maintenance on it. We just really wanna use the natural material, so.
I apologize, I did not have time to review the planning board stream that was, I guess, yesterday. Monday, okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we need to know from that meeting?
We got approval, the only thing that is gonna change from their approval is, which we had talked about in the last meeting too, under the counter, there will be brackets. Wooden brackets matching that, which isn't shown in the rendering. I believe that's the only thing that wasn't,
Yeah, I was trying to look at my notes from before about that, it would have, is approved with the following to the. Two equally spaced bracket details under the counter to match the wood
Mhm,
elsewhere. And keeping true to the warm lighting.
yes,
They talked
the lighting, that we. The bulbs, they said have to be a certain,
3,000
Yeah.
K, so they're dark sky compliant.
Oh, 3,000 K?
yes,
Yeah.
so that's what, we are going to use.
Okay, and were there specific selections for the lights?
It's the same ones as before, we just adjusted it so they actually go above the signs. I do wanna say. On the rendering, that white space that's there won't be there, I. Don't know why it is right now, but there's not gonna be a whiteboard and then the sign over it, it's just gonna be the
Five
lettering,
letters?
yes.
Okay, and we don't quite know yet what the name is and
Nope.
what the size is. So there's obviously gonna be
Second
a
application,
revisiting.
Yep.
Once we know those particular details.
Mhm.
But we would want to know the font, the size.
Those are all things that they would
color.
have to submit to the sign permit too.
Right.
I have a copy of the sign application, it's just. Yeah, we haven't chosen a name, so I didn't wanna, turn in anything yet.
Okay, well, I think tonight we would only be looking at the concept of the placement of the signage, not the characteristics of the signage. Is that a fair statement?
Because there is no sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is anything to talk about.
Right, but if
That's
there
why
will be
they
a
blocked
sign.
it
that
out
will be
so
a-
that you know where the spacing is.
Correct. Okay, I realize I'm talking way too much, but was there anything else that you wanted to present?
We changed the windows, you wanted us to remove some of the,
You pick on lines.
yeah, I can't think of the.
Audience?
I honestly don't know the word,
Oh,
but yeah, it's,
these things.
yes, yep,
Okay.
so they're matching now. Other than size, because like we said before, we didn't wanna take any window space that she has away from Chloe's closet. But our window needs to be smaller for counter height, so.
I guess I'm a little confused with that. What do you mean by matching? I mean, what are the windows gonna look like? They're
Compared to
not,
what I think the first rendering, which we
This-
not have seen, I may not have.
I have one right here, the old.
There was an
Yeah.
older one
Oh,
from
this-
the last
Oh,
meeting.
Looking through here.
Okay, so this is
Months.
What you
Yeah.
saw is the
Oh,
newest.
Yes, this is
I
the
didn't
newest one that you're
realize that.
looking at, and as for the only way that they're not one is gonna be a fixed window where Chloe's closet is, and one is that bifold window that's shown on this drawing. And that just is gonna open up and it'll have that counter with the granite that you see.
The bifold window that opens up is that gonna be, you said metal or is that wood window?
It will be, I don't know exactly how,
It's clad.
when we hire
The photo here, and that indicates, it looks like wood.
it's all gonna be shown as wood. The actual construction of it, I can't say
Oh,
what will
right.
be underneath the wood, but it'll all be wood on the outside. So that's what it's gonna be.
Oh, it could be a wood veneer then, is what you're saying, and it
No.
makes some strong, no?
I think our plan, I mean, if that changes, I will come here probably when I do the sign application. Any tweaks that we make, I'll present then as well, but as of right now, the plan is just all natural wood.
And you've probably talked about this, I wasn't at the last meeting, but the window that opens up. That opens up to the point of the end of the countertop, or does it go on a little further?
No, it opens, well, it actually, we're gonna open it. It'll come to the inside now. So it's not gonna, like, the point will not be going outside, it'll be going inside.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing it inside.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, I see this.
so that picture is just,
This latest rendering shows
Yeah.
it going
The,
inside.
the confusion is that the rendering shows it swinging out. And
Well,
the
that's-
detail shows
Yeah,
it
I think
swinging
that's.
in.
yeah, the actual drawing that the architect did shows it going in, but that's just a reference picture, for like a window. Like the kind of window we're gonna be.
So it's folding inward.
Yeah,
rather
all
than
of the construction, like, or. Yeah, the construction details of it are on this one,
Mhm.
and that you can see. The
We
actual
don't-
specifics to our,
We don't have a full size of these, do we? That we could see it. Here.
no, I didn't,
I didn't see a need to print it that big,
Okay, reason I mention it is,
since they're hard
The-
to get them to everybody.
and I'm kind of climbing into some of the detail or the weeds here, but the exterior elevation on both sheets shows the break in the garage door window, I'll call it that, in the center. But the detail is showing a different
Yeah,
length.
it is.
Like a 40-60.
Yeah, which would change the exterior look on the exterior. So there's a little bit of a
When it
disconnect
fits.
there.
Lost.
I see what you're saying. It's gonna look like the rendering, and if that, cause these are not. This is all for planning, these aren't the official construction documents, so this isn't what our general contractor is gonna be using to build everything. So when we go through the process of choosing windows with our contractor, it will be. All the measurements will be accurate to the rendering, so sorry about the confusion on that, but I'll definitely, that's not
I
gonna be
think
the
we
case.
could probably note in our minutes
So
that
which drawing
the
is the one
intent-
that reflects what's the drawing number? for the one
oh,
that
we're
reflects it?
talking A 3.1. Detail 3 versus elevation. Detail 2.
Right.
Detail 2 shows the break in the door midway or at the midpoint where the section is showing it unequal.
Yeah.
I think the intent is that they should be equal.
Right.
And that gets me into a little of some other things, but I want to stop and let the rest of the commission ask its questions.
I have a question on this photo here. With a rendering, the building. Or actually, the real picture, but, these lines here, is that where you're hoping that the roof ends?
That is where the roof ends. So as you can see, there's also the side picture. It's just the front facade, so it's not, it doesn't,
That's
Yeah.
where you want in other words, anything above those black lines will not be there.
Yeah, so that's on the lower one. That's kind of, he tried to show where it would be in, like, that's to scale.
Yep.
And when you do that, have you ever thought about possibly incorporating an historic book, and copying the lower area, not the cornice or up here, but the one below, just to give it a little bit of character, or
The,
match, to have it cohesive?
yes, as of right now, this is the design that we're sticking with. And I know that we talked about like the cornices that we're adding to the top, but as of right now, nothing like on that level will be, because where that lines up is kind of midway to where our awning is gonna be. So that I'm not sure if that answers your question fully, but
Yeah, what is the awning?
More of a soffit, really.
yeah, it's
He's calling, let me go. No. Three. That's three on soon. Oh, this is just finishes.
Now, where's the diagram for? Oh, it's
Well, I'm looking at the scale.
Yeah.
drawing.
this is the side on.
Yeah. Right here. And then,
Yeah,
oh, I
A
see.
3.1, you can see
Yeah.
like the actual construction of it, but
Right.
I'm just calling it an awning.
He's got it called overhang.
Overhang, okay. Oh, okay.
So do you have a complete, the measurements says overhang 3x6.
Yeah, it
With
says,
6x8 beam and brackets. 2 6x36, 2-inch awning.
but it says 3x6, but the two details below call it 3'6".
Hmm.
In height.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not exactly sure where,
But then what's 6? What's a 3x6?
3 this way and 6 out that way. I don't know.
No, at 24.
well,
24 inches on C.
Oh,
Joist.
gee.
Oh, 3x6, 20, okay, those are the joist sizes,
Yeah.
not the size of the overhang.
yeah, the overhang is just going up to the property line, which I think is about, I can't think of, yeah, it shows you
It's
also
shown 2'7"
here.
Out.
Yeah.
That's the-
Yeah, so the awning just goes up to the property line.
What's that angle?
This angle thing,
Now, what is this slope back? Why is this is level here? What is this just?
I'm not
What am I
sure.
seeing there?
Where are you looking?
Well, yeah, come on up and what we're looking at is this line. here
That's just the inside of,
versus that.
so yeah, I couldn't really tell you exactly the purpose of it, but I know that is kind of the beginnings of the construction drawing for the awning. And they're not the final ones, but
Yeah, that's probably the top of the structure or the roof or something. It says existing structure 2 foot. But it doesn't explain what it is.
Slope, 212 slope. Does it pitch in? Is it like a hidden slope going into a storm drain? See what I mean right here? 212 slope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless your architect, what's his name? Alvaro, he was saying that they were gonna open up a couple areas and try to peek in to see how it was built.
we're not going to do that just
Okay.
because of the cost of it. If we remove the I wanna call them brackets, but I can't think of a better word for it. If we
Portables.
yes, if we remove those from under the awning, like we discussed last meeting, we could look and see if it's possible, but just structuring it that way is just,
Okay.
we've been advised that it's much more expensive and. The wooden brackets don't. To me personally add more character, so.
Okay. Yeah, so I kind of understand.
Yes.
And we don't know how that was built, but we do know that there's a thickness to it. It comes up and somehow it boxes itself in. So bit of a mystery.
Yeah, I wish
On the end or something, you know what I mean?
I wish I had the information to tell you how it was constructed, but all I can tell you is that how far it's gonna go out. I don't know anything that's going on inside, but
Okay.
this is just, I know how it will be presented on the outside.
Okay. Just for everyone's information, was able to walk down there today because there's a couple things I was curious about. And that was if these photos that are tacked on either side are to the same scale as the drawn elevation. And there's no way to really tell, so we went down and with the help of Pam, kind of measured the underside of the Kyoko soffit, which is 11'6"
Mhm.
underside. And that the top of window at Kyoko's is off the sidewalk 9'7.25". And the top cornice is 25'6". So if we had the full size drawing that we could scale out and kind of figure out what the true look would be. But what I guess bugs me a little bit is that there's no apparent referencing of the adjacent facade. You know what I mean? We're so close that if we just adjusted this a few inches, it would kind of line up and create a nice horizontal datum.
You mean,
If you see here, let's assume that this is drawn to scale.
mhm,
You can kind of see it's there. This is here, and we actually know it's 10 foot. Well, what is it, 10'4" to the underside? Well, actually a little bit lower. So if that 10'4" became 11'6", then it would at
Right.
least line up.
I think that was to allow us enough room for just the size of the awning that we wanted to do and for signage and lighting and everything. But yeah, that's the way we chose the size of it. For, cause
Right,
I see
and
that.
that was chosen in isolation from the adjacent facade, which was really what we were talking about last time. Having it be harmonious with the adjacent buildings. The building, the Avicoles in the front, there's no direct relationship because that facade is so far back.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think the height is taller, but it's hard to tell because of the in and out of what's happening. But your facade is on the same plane as Kyoko's
Mhm.
facade, so that you're gonna really see that relationship. And it's gonna look kind of like that instead of like this, you know, in terms of trying to blend the two together. So that's what's been kind of bugging me when I've looked at this. Also measured that the existing window in Chloe's closet is 7'1". So it looks like that wants to be maintained
Mhm.
from what we discussed. So that's not noted on here, but we do know. On the other side,
7'1", you said?
this here is 7'1".
This is a 7 door,
Uh,
right?
yeah, so I'm saying overall, and this is up off the ground, I didn't measure that.
Got it, right.
Um,
Standard 7. Nothing can
um,
use it.
no, but it's saying, with the transom, it's saying it's 9'1".
Okay.
So I agree, it's probably a 7 door and then there's the rest of it is transom. But again, the door to the window in the mullions, there's no
Yeah.
correspondence either. I get your
But you
point.
said, yeah, because if that's top of that one, it's 7. What'd you say?
7'1",
Yeah,
but
and
the
that's
window
way up
itself, but
here.
not
Yeah.
not to the sidewalk. That's just the
So
window
that-
itself.
Okay. Okay,
Um,
I see. I got you.
So this would be a lot easier if all this was drawn to scale. I'm just trying to.
Are you talking about in correlation to the other buildings?
Correct.
He did ask me if he should draw the other buildings, but honestly, he has so much to do for this project and it's just, it wasn't
Right.
part of our priorities, so this was honestly the best that we could do, and he relayed to me that it was to scale, so I know that's not as
Okay.
easy
Well, I
to.
can't tell because these are not even a half-size drawing, so I can't lay a scale on this. All I can do is look at the dimensions and compare.
Mhm.
And then the top of your building with the cutoff barn shape, he has is 15 feet. And that wouldn't have any correspondence on the adjacent building. Because there's, that building goes up 25'6". So, another 10'6". Over here. What does seem to gonna remain is the power, just a quick photo. Yeah, the mast here, that's gonna just remain. You're not gonna run the power underground or anything.
No,
Because he's showing it here, okay. And there is a limitation of what you can do. You recall what the dimension was?
Something like, I think, at least 3 feet above the.
Okay, so that may be a determinant.
Actually, if you wanted, I don't know if you want to get estimates for underground, but there's many buildings, or some anyways, the Old Faithful Library in the Historic District. Several different houses on Genesee Street in the Historic District, they have underground electrical, and it just looks more historical and so much cleaner, especially with that big mass there, but you could maybe play around with getting an estimate just to see.
yeah, we could definitely consider that. I have heard them talk about the wiring quite a bit, and I think that they're pretty set on keeping it, just again,
It's a cost issue.
cost, yeah.
And do you think you're gonna do an upgrade on the electric service? Cause if you're gonna do an upgrade, like, do you need more power? Or
We're-
something like that, you might really wanna consider having the whole thing, spending the money for underground.
So we are just getting to that right now because all the equipment list was just made, so all of that is being calculated right now, but from my understanding and what everyone thinks is that that building gets a lot of power as it is, so we're hopeful that it's getting enough power right now, but if we do have to have National Grid come, that's something that we can consider.
Yeah, no, I think the building would look so much more keeping within the historic district and actually be a huge asset for you to do.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
While we're on wiring, there's also all the telecom wiring that comes in to the top of the mansard roof. It kind of, you can't see it very well, but it is there. And at this point, it would be coming in probably in the center of your box soffit or the overhang.
I imagine that that's just gonna come in from the top,
Okay,
like right through the top,
okay.
just like it is on that.
Yeah. It would
Yeah.
look really strange to have it come in at the same location.
Yeah, we wouldn't do that.
Okay. So, again, I feel I'm talking too much. Richard, we haven't gotten to your special concern.
Is there gonna be an exhaust system?
An exhaust system?
Mhm.
What do you mean by that?
If you're gonna be cooking, frying.
No,
exhaust System,
our plan is to do everything electric, so,
no, I'm not talking about that.
okay.
Are you going to need to have an exhaust system?
I'm not sure.
Well-
I can't tell you the answer.
I think we need an answer to that because we wanna know where it's gonna be located. And we had the issue with one down the street many times ago.
Oh,
And it went in after the fact. And the neighbors were very Set,
Oh, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
all right,
Mhm.
A
so,
lot of restaurants use exhaust systems, but they can be noisy, especially if they're running continually.
Mm-hmm,
So he's mindful of the experience they have.
right. Okay,
was a very bad experience for the board.
mm-hmm,
And I'm sure the board is not gonna wanna go through this again. So I think before we go any further, that should be just shown to us from our point of view of preservation, where it's gonna be located in the roof.
okay.
on
Are
the
you doing a
side.
full kitchen?
Yeah, there will be a kitchen.
But like a full,
Commercial.
There won't be any, no, it's more of like a prep kitchen. I mean, there will be 2 ovens, that we're planning on right now, but we're not gonna have any fryers. And that's really it. The most of the power or most of what we're cooking is those 2 ovens. Then we have some mixers and whatnot, but it's not like nothing like, the setup at Avicoli's that we have. So
does Freedom of
Sure.
Espresso have an exhaust?
Pardon?
Does Freedom of Espresso have an exhaust? Isn't there a bakery in the back one time?
I think they do have an exhaust in there.
Okay, but I've never heard anything from them.
Well,
Okay.
what I would ask is this is confirmed that there's no exhaust system going up on the roof of the side of the building
Okay,
Oh, the font.
It's-
I
or
mean,
the front and part of the building. And if they're, and about that confirmed by your signed off by your architect.
okay, I haven't heard any need for it in the meetings that we've had so far, but if that does become something that we need to build, I'll definitely bring it.
I would think you'd have some form of exhaust, whether it, it doesn't necessarily be commercial, but if you're baking something and something burns or something like that. You're gonna wanna have an exhaust. So that it's not, in the room, so you must be having something, I would think.
I haven't, like I said, we're in the planning phase and I know that is part of planning, but we are just starting to talk about all
Okay.
the equipment and everything, and our
Okay.
goal was just to get the front facade that we're changing approved, so we haven't really gotten into a lot of details that
Okay.
you guys are
we're
asking
matching
about.
up this with the Main Street redevelopment grant money.
Right, well, yeah, and I know that any changes to the outside need to come
Mhm.
to the boards, so that's what,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that,
want you to know, this was a big problem. And got every board involved. And a lot of people were very happy about it, being.
Mhm.
So I would suggest that you ask your architect to verify with the code enforcement officer if there's going to be a system. And then let us know where it's gonna be located.
okay, yeah, once we do everything with the code enforcer, then I can get all that information to both of the boards.
Planning board would be more interested in noxious fumes and things of that nature. This board is only looking at the aesthetics.
Mhm.
But considering that both the front and the back facades are visible from a road, we would be interested to know if anything is sticking up or sticking out.
Okay,
Which brings me to the next question. Are you planning to do anything with the path?
nope, as of right now, we're not touching it. We hope to be able to do something someday, but there's no plans currently, just because
That's on the slide.
It was discussed at the planning board too, so they did make note of that rear door.
Yeah,
With them.
Okay, but
this
there's,
is what we're talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah, the door.
there's no plan.
door
So I talked to the code enforcer about it just because I wanted to make sure that and that he said that it's been checked by the yes, fire department. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. It's been checked by the fire department and it will be again before we open. And I know last meeting you mentioned putting something there to note that it's not in use. But I honestly was
Actually, this is right next door. They just put a little wrought iron grill over it.
yeah. So if that becomes necessary due to safety reasons, we will, but I was honestly confused about what you were asking last time.
I
Once
didn't have
we-
this photo.
Right, and also you were wanting something to indicate that it wasn't in use, but then also another gentleman on the board was telling me not to make it obvious, so I kind of didn't understand the purpose of it aesthetic wise,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Or what your desired,
Well, what I recall the discussion was, and Richard wasn't here to explain, but there was an email where he brought up the point of the door. At one point, there was a deck back there, and a deck would be a really wonderful amenity. I could see that being patron seating, you got the view of the park.
would love that, yeah, that's definitely something we really hope to do in like a second phase, hopefully if we're, you know, busy enough and we can get to that point, but that's, we haven't even thought about it yet, as long as everything is up to code back there, we're not gonna touch it, just because we're,
I think
Yeah.
the existing deck had to be demolished for safety.
mm,
So there, you know, and once that was done, the doors were nailed shut so nobody could go in or out.
yeah, there's boards over them right now, I
Yeah.
believe.
So, you know, there's the optics of it. And then there's also the practicality of really activating that facade and that whole view shed.
Yeah, I mean. We would love to do something back there, and if something becomes necessary, once we get to code inspection, we'll definitely,
If you
Adjust.
can have more than 49 people in the building or on your level there. And we do have the stair going down to
Mhm.
exit door, so
yeah, we
yeah,
have.
do have that back
Few exit.
exit. So you probably get around it, but I really could see that being a nice amenity,
I agree with you.
you know. Plus you would bring people in from the park side as well.
Mhm.
So I would say don't forget that as an opportunity. And I think this commission would be supportive
Mhm.
of that. And I believe there was a plan in place to restore the deck, which I have not seen. But that was approved and kind of,
Never
Ready to
happened,
go.
I did hear about that, yeah.
Richard, does that kind of cover the door issue?
Well,
For now?
I was not concerned about the door, I was concerned about the facade.
Okay,
And I really would like to see something done with this facade, because when Kyoko will close his doors one day and sell it to somebody else, I don't want to see that building left the way it is. I'd like to set precedent. Because right now, he has done nothing in the back, quite along the front, to improve that building. And I'm sure they're gonna do it. They're doing it very nice. I'm glad to see what they're doing here. But I think we have to look at the whole, these two buildings together as we set a precedent with them, and the next person who comes in has to follow through with this facade,
yeah,
repairing the facade. That's number one. Now, number two, do we have any authority in the back? But
yes, you can see it from Pratt's Lane. So anything visible from a public way.
all right, so
is under our
I have a
purview for
suggestion
aesthetics.
for you. Or a recommendation, or whatever you want. Place is a pig pen back there. I will say it outright. You're the present people using the dumpster there, they got pictures. Garbage is all over the place.
We are having issues right now with neighbors using the dumpsters, so we're working on it, but yeah.
It's really bad. You're attracting rats there, potentially. And bringing rats into this area is not gonna be a good situation for any restaurant.
I agree.
Okay, so I would start paying attention to the back. As I said, I took pictures of it. I watched fortunately, one of the employees dump the garbage on the ground
Evil's
when I was there.
stuck on.
So your employees,
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't manage them, but
I know.
I'll definitely mention something.
all right, and I hope the board member here will heed what I'm saying. It's not necessary for the back to look the way it does.
Are there two sets of dumpsters?
There's a couple of those, I'll give you.
Are you looking at this collectively, or is this? Because there are
There's-
more than one business, I just wanna. make
There's a,
sure.
okay.
We have a partially fenced in dumpster and recycling dumpster that we use, or that Avicoli's uses, but
But
Yeah.
the point is that even on a voluntary basis, you should be taking responsibility to make sure it's maintained, because now you're gonna have two restaurants there.
yeah, we actually, I think you guys got the plan for the trash removal. It's gonna be happening 4 times a week instead of twice now, which the cafe won't be producing as much trash as Avicoli's, so it'll actually be beneficial, I think.
Okay, well, I hope you do pay attention to it, because it really, if we have some authority back there, we're not really.
I
Stepping up
understand
to
your
it.
concern, it's warranted, but at the same time, vermin is more of a planning board issue. From my perspective,
Or a code,
or a code issue.
Code issue.
Yeah,
so, thank you.
okay, let's circle back. Are there any other issues that we wanna discuss?
I'd like to discuss, you're using, EFS, is that what?
EFS, yeah,
EFS. Have you,
Air Insulation Finish System is what it stands for.
okay. Is there any chance, or have you thought about, actually using brick and painting it the same as color or thereabouts as the restaurant? Keeping with that look?
Everything has been considered, but we have settled on the EFS, and that's what we've chosen to do, and that's what is being planned for right now, so.
I will say that EFS is prone to damage, so I'm thinking. Few years down the road where people were sitting against the counter. Kicking the wall. you're
We
probably-
mentioned that at the planning, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
We mentioned that at the planning, someone mentioned that at the planning board meeting, and we had. Talked about, obviously, maintenance is necessary for anything, but we don't think it's gonna be an issue because there is gonna be a counter there, and I know. I mean, they'd really have to be swinging their legs, and we have, as for the weather damage, we're adding the metal flashing, and EFS is.
Mhm.
A weather resistant material as well, if installed properly, so.
I don't fully, I might have been sleeping at this point. But the facade,
Mhm.
so you got EFS.
Mhm.
Then you got this.
Yeah.
And the elevation rendering doesn't indicate. I don't see it. I may have.
What the EFS?
This is all EFS, but where is the red oak?
Anything that has the detailing that's not the color of the EFS is gonna be
I
wood.
mean, this terracotta look?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Which is just, it doesn't match the color we
Okay.
ended up choosing, but
Okay.
yeah.
So it's gonna be EFS right from the grade street all the way up. Okay, thank you.
It's true.
Again, we're looking at it under this artificial light,
Yeah, true.
so.
Yeah, we tested all of the samples in the sunlight, and what I told the last board is. When I was choosing colors with a cool tone, it was really blaring, so I had to choose one with a warmer tone, just because even in the winter, like. The sun and the snow just like really, so I wanted it really, if it looked like that, I wouldn't have chosen it in the
Mhm.
sun, but that was our, how we chose, so.
So. I'm just gonna circle back to, my only real concern is the placement of the overhang. In having it pick up something from the Kioka facade over.
Maybe the separation here, the.
Well, that's probably gonna be too high for the electrical,
Maybe they can actually have it go higher. I don't know.
you know. I can see now that the desire is that. That's gonna be 10'4".
Yeah.
And this up here is 11'6". So from here to here is the difference.
It's what?
So it's basically 1 foot 2 inches
Okay.
from the bottom of this to the bottom of that. And of course, if you pick it up that 1 foot 2, you'll have blank space above the windows. I imagine those lights would come up with it.
Yeah.
My feeling is that you don't have to diminish the size of the soffit, it just brings everything up a foot.
Yeah,
We can keep the signage. The ability to display and light the signage the same. You have the awning, as it's called, 3'6".
Are you talking about raising the awning up a foot?
Yes,
I don't think that would be possible with the, just because there's no room really as it is if you look at these drawings to put it anywhere else without changing the size of it.
I see, yeah, because overall it would be 15 foot to the top of the wall. Currently it goes up, I think,
but 19.
yeah, it was something like that. I didn't write it down yet. But it's not quite to the 25, so yeah, it was probably about 20 feet. So you're cutting off at least 5 foot of that, what's there now, coming up. Like that. I'm looking at this and I'm wondering, gee, if we went from 15 foot to 16 foot 2, is that gonna be a showstopper? Pam, you had mentioned that this felt,
It feels squatty to me, not in proportion or. It almost feels like it doesn't belong. I don't mean to be rude, but it just, if it was a bit taller. And you actually added whatever the cornice is gonna look like, a little bit more of a cornice to give it character. But basically up higher. I just think it basically. It would look like it belonged in the historic district more than this does.
Yeah, I don't think that we want to keep any of like a raised facade like is currently existing though, so we're just going
But
to,
not even like a foot or two.
we're just going to the true size of the building.
Okay,
Yeah, the goal is just to get rid of all the extra that's there right now and just go to what the actual size of the building is right now.
So. Rubber roof with the central drains, what is it?
well, this is
I don't
asphalt
know.
shingle, you can tell. But-
Yeah, for the
But
parapet. but
beyond,
what's in
I think
that?
it's
Do you know
flat,
what it
it's a
looks
flat
like?
roof.
Flat roof
Oh.
with a,
I haven't been able to get back far enough to see, but that looks like a rusted
yeah,
edge. And that looks like,
runoff. Yeah, that looks like rubber.
yeah, if EDPM,
Yeah.
and it's probably sloped
Yeah.
the pitch back,
Probably do.
probably what rotted out
Probably
the,
see.
yeah. So again, we're speculating. The other thing I'm a little confused about is on the drawing, it's showing a recess in plan, which I don't see on the photos.
Oh, for the doors?
Well, that looks like that's a corner. And then that comes straight back.
Yeah, that, this is how it. Yeah, are you talking about the placement on the door?
This right here, it says recess, and this facade sticks out. You can see it here, there's a gap there, because there's something under it, but the photo. on the side, the mural just comes up to it.
Yes. Well, actually, no, there's, that is a piece of wood right there.
It sticks out this far.
Yes, yeah,
Huh.
so it's just, if we rip that off, it would change the mural. So that's just, yeah.
It's just there. Okay.
Mhm.
Is the roof being cut?
Yes.
Mhm.
That's what.
And it's got like, 3 foot of thickness too, doesn't it? That's on the side here.
You're talking about like on the side of the,
Yeah, the what you're taking off has got depth. to
Yeah,
it.
it's three,
yeah, just a little bit.
got a little knee wall in the back too. Like a little
See,
support.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, where's the recess? Oh, it's painted, that's why you don't see it.
that's being.
Oh, unless, oh, it's back to here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the overhang. Okay, I answered my own question then. You just couldn't see it in the shadow. I understand the desire to just run the roof off flat, but you're tearing off a 3 foot chunk of facade. That's 3 foot thick and about 5 foot tall. And it seems to me that you could easily bring that up a foot and then just slope it down to meet the roof. It might actually look a lot better.
Um. Yeah, I can just say what I've said before, is that I'm not the only one making decisions, so everything has been thought about and talked through, and that's just, I really think we just wanna rip everything that's there off and just stick to the structure, the actual structure of the building.
Okay.
This,
Um, So,
I have other.
alright. This would also be a lot easier if we had to scale what is physically there. I can only, look at a photo and surmise. And again,
A scale of the way that it
the
currently,
existing, yeah, I measured the window and again, what this coming off doesn't bother me at all.
Mhm.
And keeping the window, I understand that completely. It's just trying to have something that corresponds to this, because right now it's gonna be somewhere in here. And the roof is gonna be kind of stopping right at this point.
Mhm.
Even though it's 3 foot back. And it's all gonna have to be fixed. I don't know, where does everybody feel they're standing on? Not just that us issue, but everything else? Are we,
Well, I think what you're suggesting is a good idea. I mean, from a visual point of view, I think it'll really look nice. Cost wise. I can't believe it's gonna have an impact. There's really, if we're not talking money here,
I hear you.
okay, I mean, if we were trying to say to you that, you gotta spend an extra $50,000 to do that, that would be ridiculous, but I think a good builder, contractor should be able to do this, probably for the same cost of tearing it down. So. It's my opinion.
This, what structure?
behind here? We don't know.
Only behind all this.
We have no idea.
Look at all the wood.
I don't think that's structural.
How old is it? It doesn't
50s.
matter. Oh,
It was Fabric Barn back in the day. That's why they gave it the barn look,
That's right.
you know. So it is like a Western
Or they'll
storefront.
find out what's there.
Yeah,
It's probably not Mason, so,
no,
no.
no. And we established that years ago, there was a two-story structure in this location. And it married up nicely to the building next door. But that's, you know, way down the road. Personally, I would be very comfortable approving this based on the top of roof in the front at 16'2". If it's determined down the road that it's physically impossible to accomplish that, I would revisit that, but that would be at the time where we know how the wall was built and how you would be able to proceed. Would that be acceptable at this point?
Approving it on the basis of raising the height of it?
Raising the soffit so that instead of 15, it would be 16'2", because then that lines up with the facade next door.
Or, and that would require building up. Like,
This much.
it's something that I would have to talk to other people about, but I don't see it going over well, if I'm being honest with you. I think that we've sat with what we had for a long time and we've gone through it all. I can always ask, but at the end of the day, I feel like we are making an improvement to the way that it appears right now. And like I said, I don't have the final say in things, so I can definitely mention it, but I can't say that I see a positive outcome.
Okay. So we can take a straw vote to see if that's that's an issue that people are feel strongly about. I'd hate to, you know, cast a negative vote just for that one little thing, but how do other people feel? Just-
I feel pretty strongly about raising it up. Is there a chance that you could get a carpenter, builder, whatever, to take a look at it and give you some kind of a guesstimate of? This thing, like we said, we don't think it would cost that much to do that, and if you're going to make improvements and it's in the historic district, then this is the opportunity for us to ask you maybe to do that if possible.
Right.
Because it's setting a theme, and to break it up is not gonna look as historical as it could be. I'd like to see the opportunity taken to try our best to.
That would just require all new drawings. And that in itself is a cost, so we would have to, based off of what he already has, he would have to change drawings. Like, this isn't a final construction drawing, but it's almost there. So that the effort to change the construction plan in itself, not even just physically constructing it, is a change of cost for us as well.
Richard?
Well, I think we should stick to our guns on this one. Okay.
So, and what is that? Okay. We have a couple choices here. We can put it up for a vote. It'll probably be 3-1 against. Or we can table this until more information is determined. You said that the construction will only happen in the spring. So it
Yes,
feels
but-
like we have a little time to revisit this.
Yeah, we do, but we're also, you know, and everything that we're doing on the inside is gonna be bid in conjunction with what's going on the outside, so that's a step that we can't take until everything is finalized. And again, I'm not sure how it's gonna go over, just based on like everything that I've already.
I will say that in our ordinance, if there's a negative declaration or, basically we wrote it down, there is an opportunity to revisit it for economic hardship. But that's usually a very high bar, saying that you wouldn't be able to make the money that paid the difference.
Right.
So that, I'm just telling you, is there in the ordinance or that kind of situation where somebody says, I literally cannot afford to comply.
And how would it work with the planning board? Since we have already gotten approval for them, I would then have to resubmit and get approval from them again?
I don't know, that would be a technicality.
Linearize, change it.
Yeah,
You're still keeping with the intent of the overall design.
Okay,
so that's something the planning board chair could say is a minor change and, not require having to revisit it, the full board.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to do that.
okay,
So the idea is, we're not trying to, make this really difficult, but we're really trying to make sure that when it's done, we're all gonna be proud of it.
I hear you. It is, I know that it seems simple as it is, and it is objectively, but there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, and that's redoing a bunch of steps that we already did, and it sets us back, to be honest, and it is,
Well, I'm giving an escape clause. If the architect can come back and prove to us that there's no other way to do it than keep it at 15 foot, we could have that discussion. But right now, I don't see it being a showstopper. So, I'd be willing to make a motion, I'm pretty sure it would pass, to approve this as submitted with that change of the elevation in order to line up with the adjacent building.
okay.
Um,
I can't unfortunately give you the
Yeah.
answer that you would need for
Yeah.
that regardless
So if we
right now.
table, then she could provide a better illustration of the elevation. Would that execute what they're looking for? And somehow affirm.
You mean a drawing of Kyoko's in the building next
Mhm.
door?
That's what we were asked for before, so we could make this determination.
Yep.
Instead of going based on, some quick measurements that we did in the field.
No, yeah, I hear you. I just don't know if I don't. Cause then he would have to measure those buildings as well, which we're not even touching.
Well, he
And
said it was to scale, so.
that's what he told me, yeah.
And again, there's a little bit of shift with the photo, but. Photography, but usually if you catch a couple dimensions, you can scale the drawing to fit. And then pull the dimensions off. It's not that difficult to do, and in fact. It may be, but without a full scale drawing, I can't scale it to say if it matched what I saw in the field. But at the same time, you could also address the other minor thing about the break in the window, the garage window,
Mhm.
get that corrected as well. So there's gonna be changes, as you said, this is on the way to being a construction drawing. So it's not like he's not gonna touch it again,
Right. I honestly didn't want him to have to draw other buildings, cause his time is our money, so I'm really trying to be considerate of that.
And we're trying to be considerate of the rest of the village.
Yeah.
So, adjacent buildings are important for the context. So the question to you is, do you want us to table it and then look at it again? We can look at this next month. Or do you want us to vote with the modification that we know we can support? So then you can keep moving forward with an approval.
If you vote with the modification and I get a hard no from anyone, where do we go from there?
Bring it back and we'll revisit, but I need to have some real good information as to why this is impossible to do. 'Cause
Okay.
I don't see where it would be impossible.
Okay,
Fair enough?
yeah, I would like to do that then, and if I get a hard no, I will come back.
We'll see you again. And they'll probably say, you know what, this is probably easier. You never know.
I just want to go on record saying that I think it's a really interesting project and, I really hope it can be worked out. I mean, I'm hopeful that it's going to be something that really adds to our village.
I'm looking forward to having a bagel down there.
Yeah.
So I really, I think it's a
So-
great idea.
Are you making a motion?
Yes, because time is
I
fleeting
just
here.
wanna- What direction we're going here for everybody's benefit?
Just to be clear, yeah, we're gonna make a motion so that you can leave with an approval, at least that's the hope. So I'll make the motion to approve the submittal as corrected with, with the understanding that the, what's the term? The bifold window will be shown correctly in detail 3 of A 3.1. And that in order to line up with the adjacent building, the top of the facade will be modified from 15 feet to 16 feet 2. So that the bottom of the overhang will align with the adjacent building.
I second it.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Say aye. Any opposed? None? You have unanimous approval to get this going, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Thank
be
you.
done.
Have a good night.
Yep. No, just exterior,
I miss,
IFS, okay.
I can still tell as much.
Yeah. EPIS.
I'll show it to her after,
Yes.
after,
Well, we can call it exterior installation finish system. It's more correct than saying drive it.
drive it as a brand name,
It's like
like
saying
like
Kleenex.
Kleenex, exactly. Very good, use Kleenex too, that's how I say.
So,
Make the mix drive.
okay, I wanted to let everybody know about the Fayetteville zoning update. Richard, you would be particularly,
I got one.
you got one?
Yeah.
And you get. And you got, that's yours. Mark, you need one?
I have multiple copies on my computer and
Okay.
everything else all over the place.
I just want to encourage everybody to make it there. You know, it does happen to be the same time as an event for one of the political candidates, but I would feel this is vital to attend. There's a visual preference survey that I think is critically important to understand the changes that we're proposing. And there's a completed matrix showing what each zone would be relabeled and what would be approved and or allowed. So there's a lot going on. It's been a lot of work to get to this point, and this is the first public engagement.
I'm sorry, what did you say about a political candidate?
Oh,
No, you're confusing things. That's a separate event.
separate event,
Oh, okay.
separate event, hang to be same time.
Okay,
Yeah.
oh, happening at the same time.
Yeah.
In the same place, okay.
And for me, I also have a finance meeting at the same time, well, the hour before, so I'm gonna be trying to be at two places at once.
Okay.
So,
Is there a way to see this map?
is that being
Say that again?
distributed? The visual preference panels that were sent around today, is that gonna be available at a
It
time
will be available at the public.
at the event? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be similar to when we did the comprehensive plan. You go around, you engage the members, they're gonna have little stickers you can stick on the panel. And that in itself is gonna give us feedback to move ahead. That fair to say?
And generally, this is really important because we're trying to figure out what we've worked on so far, whether or not that's actually what the people want. So that, you know, we're prepared for this to go in any direction along the way, so it's important for the public input on it. That's the major crux of it.
You know, but this is more than just a tweak.
Yeah, it could be a major tweak.
Yeah.
I have to know which way we're going. We all do.
Yeah, so, we expect some discussions.
We
Oh.
don't expect that we got it 100% right.
We're not.
That would just be unbelievable. It doesn't happen that way.
Also, want to thank Ron and Pam for the Fayetteville Festival and being able to attend that and engage the public. It's always critically important to have that event. I think it was very successful. I don't know, Mark, what's the official word?
From my perspective, it was an extremely successful event. Karen did a lot of work to make
Obviously.
it work properly.
Yeah.
And I always have to say that because she does put these things together really well.
Ringmaster.
And I worked with Karen over the course of time and her make that happen. I literally spoke to every person who had a table at the event, and they were very much pleased with the amount of people coming through, because it wasn't like they were overwhelmed many times, but it was constant. And that's the one piece that we always love, is where it's constant and not overwhelming or underwhelming, but where you are constantly busy and talking to folks about what's going on. That's was a key component. The other point of that was in the extension of that going on later with the music and the fireworks, one of the best fireworks shows I think I've seen in a long, long time. And I have to say that. And I think, and we pulled in for the evening events. From my perspective, was the largest crowd we've ever had for a Fayetteville Festival. I'm gonna say that. It was really
A lot
quite.
of it is contingent on the weather. It was one of the most.
Yes, it was.
perfect Days we've
Yeah.
had, so
How do
it
you
really helped.
tally? Sorry, to interrupt.
Go ahead, Ron.
How do you tally how many people? How do you do
I
that?
can't. But I can
Just
tell
kinda
by my
like-
square footage how much I have to turn around and dodge and duck.
There isn't a, yeah, just one.
And I'm used to being into crowds. I think you understand that too, and I,
The visual, you see how much of grass is and isn't shown
Oh,
by the, the crowd that's occupying the park.
yeah.
Huh.
And I mean, you get a sense of the density. You really do, and I mean, because that park, I've been at more events than I can shake a stick at over the 30-some years that I've been here, okay? And I'm literally at all of those events these days, all the time, because working with Karen on most of these. So it's very important to understand it. And the other part is people you talk to tell you what's going on also. And that's the other piece that's very important. I had a hard time while the vendors were there, I had a hard time walking up and down through the tent without somebody stopping me to talk to me. And that really reflects that they're happy to be there also, by the way. Because it wasn't the complaints, it was very happy to be talking about the village, and you're all part of that. Thank you.
Where do they shoot the fireworks off?
Huh?
Where do they shoot the fireworks off from?
Behind the high
It's
school,
pretty condensed area.
behind Wellwood.
Okay, that would make sense, this big pavement area.
And
And the school district has been very good to allow us, you have a lot of things you have to have in place,
we have.
parameters they.
Yeah, we have to have a lot of things in place, and Karen and I were talking about that as we went along, because we need to have approval from the town. Because it's in the town, and we also had approval from the school district, and trying to make sure everything was moving properly as.
Not the local school district, New York State School of Education has to speak to it, really, which is apparently a new twist the last couple of years. So there's a couple of years.
So we get wrinkles thrown at us too. But generally, it's like Karen works it out, because she keeps me informed about where we are and what's going on, and I appreciate it very much, because it's like, oh, I got a problem, I need to know where to go.
Yeah, well, it ran so smoothly, it made it look easy.
Karen does make it look easy, I'm gonna say that, she does.
Okay, no.
No, I don't think that's enough credit, that's me.
All right, and to something else, just to let you know.
Oh, yes.
So I forwarded you the CLG email that came through. I think it came before, but in the past 48 hours, I saw something. And I don't know if you took note. One is the annual report, this is what we do, and I'll, put through a draft and send it to you to see if there's anything differently. I think we pretty much are consistent with what our report says from year to year.
Yeah.
But run it by you. It's due by November 15th, which may or may not be after the next meeting date. I'm not sure.
That's a good,
November 12th would probably be
Mm,
their next meeting date, so. Just to keep in mind that. I may need any comments prior I'll make sure it's submitted. The other part to that CLG email was letting you know that a grant for the year has been released. So there is an application. I'm pretty sure I forwarded this before. I don't know if anyone is prepared to move forward with it. It has to be by the end of October. So I just wanted you guys.
Which
to
is
know.
coming up very quick.
Yeah,
Um,
so I can appreciate if you're
but
not prepared to do something as you thought you would wanted to do, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you were
So-
aware of it.
the due date was what on the first one or the report?
Report by November 15th,
Okay, we're meeting on the twelfth,
so that's
so we can review it and offer any
perfect.
last minute comments.
Okay.
So we'll put that on the agenda for next time. And we've been here long enough, so I think,
I just want to put one
Yeah.
more thing on the agenda for next time is the plaques. We talked about it,
Oh.
and I keep getting inquiries from this one person that lives on Elm Street. Which she thought her house was in a historic district, and I said, no, it's not.
it could be.
Yeah, but she was like, no, really, no. It's not.
She could be our biggest advocate.
Yeah, maybe, but she's interested in something, and so we have to discuss what kind of plaque we want for the houses that are in the district versus anyone else out of the district. Maybe it's just something as simple as not having it on the National Register of Historic Places,
Mhm.
but I don't know, we need to talk about that because this has just been.
I apologize. It is sitting on my desk.
Years.
It's sitting on my desk.
Until recently, I always carried it over on the agenda, but was.
Yeah, I know.
know.
Now,
Well,
we definitely
Okay,
have
how
to,
about November will be the,
okay, yeah,
Drop dead.
that has to be it,
it's literally sitting on my desk. I scanned the one that you had laminated.
okay,
I'm gonna scale it to the other one, which is the sample.
okay,
So I will have that for next month
okay.
and we'll be able to check that off, hopefully.
We will, not hopefully, it'll happen.
Okay,
You want to adjourn them?
yes, I think that was the next thing. Anybody interested in adjournment? Is
Yes,
there a motion?
I motion that.
Okay. I'll second, all in favor?